What if every click, every message, every password you typed online was being secretly watched, stolen, or even changed? Imagine your bank account drained, your private photos leaked, or your identity stolen, all because of one invisible hacker. This isn't science fiction. It's the terrifying reality of a cyber threat called a man-in-the-middle (MITM) attack. And today, we're not just going to tell you about it. We're going to show you exactly how these sneaky attacks work, and most importantly, how you can stop them from ever happening to you. Let's dive in. What is MITM? Alright, buckle up. So what exactly is a man-in-the-middle, or MITM attack? Imagine you're sending a super confidential letter to a friend. In a normal, secure world, that letter goes straight from your hand to theirs, no detours. But in an MITM attack, an invisible third party, the man in the middle, intercepts that letter, reads every single word, maybe even changes it, and then sends it on. The terrifying part? Neither you nor your friend ever know you've been compromised. It's a complete breach of trust, happening right under your nose. In the digital world, this means an attacker positions themselves stealthily between your device and the website or service you're trying to reach. They become an invisible spy, capable of eavesdropping on your entire digital conversation, stealing your most sensitive data, or even injecting malicious content right into your browser. So how does an attacker actually get into this middle position? One of the most common and frighteningly simple ways, especially on your home Wi-Fi or that public hotspot, is through a clever trick called ARP spoofing. Every device on a local network has two identifiers, an IP address, which is like your street address, and a MAC address, which is like your house number. The Address Resolution Protocol, or ARP, is how devices figure out each other's house numbers, MAC addresses, to send data. It's like asking, who lives at this IP address? But ARP has a critical weakness. An attacker exploits this by sending out fake ARP messages. They essentially lie, telling your laptop, "Hey, I'm the router, send all your internet traffic to me." And then, they tell the actual router, "Hey, I'm the laptop, send all its traffic to me." Once this digital deception is complete, every single bit of data from the victim, intended for the internet, first passes through the attacker's machine. The attacker is now the undisputed man in the middle, watching your every move. So what's the big deal if an attacker is in the middle? Well, it depends on how the website you're visiting handles your data. Let's talk about HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. HTTP is an unencrypted protocol, which means any data you send or receive is transmitted in plain text. If a hacker is a man in the middle, they can easily read and capture all of your information, including sensitive details like login credentials, credit card numbers, and personal messages. This is why using HTTPS, the secure encrypted version of HTTP, is crucial for protecting your data. Now, for a chilling demonstration, we're on our Kali Linux attacker machine. The first thing we need to do is enable IP forwarding. Think of this like turning our Kali machine into a temporary post office, allowing it to reroute traffic so the victim doesn't even notice their internet is being hijacked. Type echo1 > proc/sys/net IPv4/IP_forward. This simple command modifies a kernel setting to enable packet forwarding. Next, the crucial step, ARP cache poisoning activation. We'll use the ARP spoof utility to initiate this attack. We'll run 2 instances to make sure traffic is redirected both ways. A full duplex interception. In the first terminal, we tell the victim, "I am the router." Type sudo ARP spoof a your Kali interface -t victim IPR gateway IP. Concurrently, in the second terminal, we tell the router, "I am the victim." Type sudo ARP spoof -i your Kali interface -t gateway IPR victim IP. To verify our success, we'll quickly check the ARP cache on our victim machine. Normally, you'd see the legitimate MAC address for the gateway, but now, as you can clearly see, the MAC address associated with the gateway's IP now directly corresponds to our Kali machine's MAC address. This confirms the victim's ARP cache has been successfully poisoned. We are officially the man in the middle. Now let's open up Wireshark, the most popular network protocol analyzer in the world. Wireshark gives us a clear, visual look at every single packet of data moving across the network. It's like being able to see every letter, every document, and every conversation in real time. We'll start a live capture on our network interface. Now, on our victim machine, watch closely as we access a simple, unencrypted HTTP login website, vulnweb.com, and attempt to log in with testassert and testpass. Upon submission, look at the Wireshark output on the Kali machine. In Wireshark's display filter bar, type http.method == post. This filter lets you see all HTTP post requests, which are often used to submit form data, like login credentials. Boom! Right there. The HTTP post request is clearly visible, and within its plain text payload, the entered credentials user =testassert and pass =testpass are fully exposed. This unequivocally demonstrates the severe confidentiality risk associated with transmitting sensitive data over unencrypted HTTP protocols during an MITM attack. It's like shouting your password across a crowded room. But what about HTTPS? We're always told to look for that padlock, right? What if an attacker could even bypass that? This is where things get even more sophisticated and deceptive. We're going to demonstrate bypassing HTTPS using BetterCap. For this next demonstration, I will be performing the HTTPS bypass attack on my own website, crazypanda.great-site.net, with my explicit permission. This ensures that no one is harmed, and we can focus on the technical details of the attack in a controlled environment. Please use this knowledge responsibly. First, let's see how HTTPS is supposed to work. On our victim machine, we'll navigate to crazypanda.great-site.net. See that? The HTTPS prefix and the comforting padlock icon, confirming a secure, encrypted connection. This is what we trust. Now, back to our Kali Linux machine. We'll use BetterCap, a powerful, modular framework to orchestrate this multi-stage attack. It handles ARP spoofing, DNS spoofing, and the critical HSTS hijacking that we're about to see. Before we proceed, a very important reminder. The demonstrations in this video are for educational purposes only. The techniques we're about to show are meant to help you understand how these complex attacks work, so you can better protect yourself and your data. Do not attempt to use this information for any illegal activity. Unauthorized access to computer systems and data is a crime, and I cannot stress this enough. Please use this knowledge responsibly. First things first, we need to get BetterCap up and running. Think of this as opening our mission control center. We'll type sudo BetterCap iface1necero. The iface1necero part just tells BetterCap which network adapter to use. Now, with our tool ready, we need to scope out the network. Our goal is to find our victim and the gateway, the router that connects us all to the internet. We'll use two commands for this, net.probe and net.recon. These commands work together to scan the entire local network, automatically discovering all the devices connected to it. It's like sending out a radar pulse to see who's around. To start this process, we simply type net.probe on. You'll see a bunch of new devices pop up. To get a clean list of all the connected targets on our network, we can type net.show. Now that we know who's who, it's time to put ourselves in the middle of the action. We'll use a technique called ARP spoofing. To do this, we'll start with a few key commands. First, we need to set up what's called full duplex ARP spoofing. This is crucial because it poisons both sides of the conversation, the victim's machine and the router. Type set arp.spoof.fullduplex true. Next, we tell BetterCap exactly which victim we want to target. You'll need the IP address you found earlier, with the net.show command. So replace target_IP with your victim's IP address set arp.spoof.targets. And now, for the moment of truth, we start the attack by typing arp.spoof. From this point on, all traffic between the victim and the router is flowing through our machine. We are officially the man in the middle. With the traffic now flowing through us, we need to start listening. We'll use BetterCap's built-in sniffer to capture and log every packet of data. This is how we see everything the victim is sending and receiving. To do this, we'll tell the sniffer to focus on our local network traffic type setnet.sniff.localTrue. Then, we start the sniffer by typing .net.sniffon. And just like that, we're now actively listening in on the victim's network communications. We are fully in a position to intercept and manipulate their traffic. But we're not stopping there. Our next step is to use one of BetterCap's specialized modules, called caplets. Think of caplets as pre-built attack scripts that automate complex processes. We're particularly interested in one that can bypass a security measure called HSTS, or HTTP Strict Transport Security. HSTS is designed to force browsers to use a secure HTTPS connection even if the user tries to visit a non-secure HTTP page. We want to bypass this security so we can see the data in plain text. To see all the available caplets, we'll run this command, caplets.show. From this list, we'll find and copy the name of the HST Hijack caplet. This will be the key to our next move. With the attack fully operational, we switch back to our victim machine. The victim, completely unaware, attempts to navigate to crazypanda.great-site.net. Observe the outcome. Despite crazypanda.great-site.net being an HTTPS-enabled website, the browser has now loaded the content over HTTP. There's no padlock icon, and the URL prominently displays http:// instead of https://. The attacker has successfully bypassed HTTPS protection by intercepting the initial connection and forcing the browser to downgrade, a truly deceptive move. Now, the victim enters their login credentials, say, quote, HTTPS login for the username, and HTTPS pass for the password, believing they are on a secure site. And now, for the chilling reveal. Let's go back to our attacker machine, our Kali terminal running BetterCap. Boom! Right there. The username and password entered by the victim have been captured and displayed in plain text. This is how easily a hacker can obtain sensitive information even when a site should be secure, by cleverly forcing a downgrade. Terrifying, isn't it? Now let's explore another incredibly dangerous man-in-the-middle technique. DNS spoofing. Imagine typing google.com but being sent to a fake site controlled by an attacker. A perfect setup to steal your data or inject malware. That's DNS spoofing in action. We'll begin on our Kali Linux machine again. The setup process is very similar to what we just did for the HTTPS bypass. We've already launched BetterCap and established our man-in-the-middle position using ARP Spoofing. Just as before, all traffic between our victim and the router is now flowing through our machine. We've also enabled local sniffing to monitor the traffic. With our MITM position confirmed, we can now configure the DNS spoofing module. We instruct BetterCap to spoof specific domains. For this demo, we're targeting crazypanda.great-site.net and all of its subdomains. Set dns.spoof.domains, crazypanda.great-site.net, *crazypanda.great-site.net. Crucially, we define where requests for these domains will be redirected. We'll send them straight to the IP address of our Kali Linux machine, which is secretly hosting our attacker-controlled web page. Set dns.spoof.target-kali_IP_address. Finally, we activate the DNS spoofing module. Type dns.spoof on. On the victim machine, completely unaware of our manipulation, the victim opens their web browser and attempts to visit crazypanda.great-site.net. Observe the result. Despite typing the legitimate domain, the browser has now loaded content served directly from our Kali Linux machine's web server. The URL in the address bar still correctly displays crazypanda.great-site.net, but the content is entirely controlled by the attacker. In this scenario, the victim would prominently see a deceptive message like this: Alert! Your system has been flagged for a critical security issue. For immediate assistance, please run the downloaded script for antivirus scan. And just like that, the payload, our malicious script, has automatically been downloaded. When this unsuspecting victim runs this file, we'll get a reverse shell, giving us full control of their machine. Back on our attacker machine, we can see our Meterpreter reverse connection listening on MSF console. This is our new command center. From here, we have a foothold on the victim's machine, and we can start exploring. First, let's get some basic information about our target. We'll type sysinfo, and just like that, it reveals crucial details about the target system, like the operating system and the computer's name. Now let's take a look at the victim's files. We'll type dir to see what's in their current directory. Whoa, wait a second. See that folder right there? Top secret folder. Let's see what's inside. We'll cd into that folder and run dir again. And there it is, a JPEG image file. The attacker now has a direct path to the victim's private information. We can now simply download it to our machine. We'll type the download command, followed by the file name. Once the file is downloaded, we can open it directly from our machine to see its content. We'll type the command open-secret_image.jpg to view the file. And there it is, the FBI's most wanted hacker, Crazy Panda, on his secret vacation. Just kidding, of course. This is just a harmless stock photo. But it shows how easily an attacker can access and download personal files, like photos, documents, and more. This is how a simple website visit, hijack through DNS spoofing, can lead to a complete system compromise and the potential for a full data breach. How to protect yourself. So, we've seen how attackers can bypass HTTPS and redirect your traffic using sophisticated techniques like ARP spoofing and DNS spoofing. It's a terrifying thought, but the good news is there are concrete steps you can take to protect yourself. Think of this as your personal security checklist. 1. Always check the padlock and the URL. You know how we're told to always look for the padlock icon and the HTTPS in the URL? That's still a critical first line of defense. However, as we saw with the HSTS hijack, an attacker can try to remove it. If a site that you know should be secure suddenly loses its padlock, or if the URL starts with http:// instead of https://, stop immediately. Do not enter any sensitive information. This is a major red flag. 2. Use a VPN, virtual private network. A VPN is one of the most powerful tools you can use. A VPN encrypts all of your internet traffic and routes it through a secure tunnel. This means that even if an attacker is on the same network as you, they can't see your data because it's completely scrambled. When you're on public Wi-Fi at a coffee shop or airport, a VPN is your best friend. Manually check your ARP cache for the tech-savvy. For those who are more technically inclined, you can manually check your ARP cache. On a Windows machine, you can open the command prompt and type ARP-A. On macOS or Linux, you'd use ARP-N. This shows you the IP to MAC address pairings on your network. If you notice two different IP addresses pointing to the same MAC address, it could be a sign of an ARP spoofing attack. 5. Consider using DNS over HTTPS, DOH. Some modern web browsers and operating systems allow you to enable DNS over HTTPS, or DOH. This encrypts your DNS requests, preventing an attacker from intercepting and spoofing them. It's a great feature to enable in your browser settings for an extra layer of protection. Man-in-the-middle attacks are a very real, very dangerous threat in our connected world. But by understanding how they work and taking these simple, proactive steps, you can drastically reduce your risk. Your online security isn't just a tech issue. It's about protecting your privacy, your finances, and your peace of mind. your online security is truly in your hands. If you found this video empowering and eye-opening, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to Crazy Panda for more crucial cybersecurity insights, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. And please, share this video with anyone who uses the internet, because knowledge is your absolute best defense. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.